Obviously, Bernier has done a great job, especially of late. What do you expect out of him today?
How do you know who's starting?
I took the early bus.
Interesting. You know what? We want to keep him playing in a fairly regular basis because he's been doing a real good job. I think, to be honest with you, all year long, I've liked the way that he's played. You know, even in the first game that he played against LA, I thought he looked good. There was a couple goals that he'd want to have back. One was just a goalie mishandle, but overall, I think he's done a real good job. So we've gotten good goaltending. We need to continue to have success.
Obviously, the goaltending has influenced things, but in 6 of your last 7, you've allowed 2 goals or less. Defensively, what are you doing differently, or what's led to that, and how important is that moving forward?
Well, I mean, it's critical that you play good defense in this league. You can't outscore your mistakes. Rarely, very few teams can. So, and we certainly are not going to. So we got to make sure we're real good defensively. I think we've done a good job of not giving up a lot of real good chances. We've certainly given up our fair share of shots, but a lot of them have been from the outside. There hasn't been tons of seconds. There hasn't been tons of outnumbered rushes or back doors. So then it makes it a savable shot for the goalie, and our goalies have made those saves when we needed to. Our goalies have made big saves at big moments, and that's critical as well. The Carolina game in Carolina got away from us. That wouldn't be true of that. But other than that, I think we've played pretty good D. We're certainly going to have to play good D tonight. You can't give these guys real opportunities. If you do, they're going to find their way to the back of the net.
How much has the message of staying out of the box been harped on, and how important will that be here today especially?
Well, it's something we talked about, you know, early part of the year. I think it's critical. It's critical every night in the league, but certainly when you play this power play, the more times they get opportunities to be on it, the better chance they're going to score. So we got to make sure we do a good job of that. Sometimes it's driven by the game. Every referee is a little bit different. Sometimes you go through stretches where you get some refs that don't call as much, and you get some that call more. That's just the personality of the refs. I mean, that's the reality of it, just like teams have personality. So we'll see how it goes. We can control, and that's making sure we don't give them anything easy to call.
The next power play goal that Ovi scores, he's going to pass Lemieux and tie Brendan Shanahan for 6th all-time with 237 of them, a lot of them from a very familiar spot. How do you defend against that, and what kind of a milestone marker is that when you look at the career he's had?
Who do they play next? Hopefully he celebrates it then, not tonight. Yeah, Rangers. There you go. Hopefully the Rangers get to see it. You know, he's a. If anybody knew how to defend it, he wouldn't have as many goals as he has. It's one of those things where their power play has so many weapons. You can go stand and hug them, but then the other 4 are gonna be each alive. So then you try to limit, you know, the opportunities. You try to limit him from getting it right from that sweet spot. What makes him really, really, really special is he doesn't need to be in one spot to shoot it. He can shoot it as high as 10 feet above the top of the circle and as low as the goal line. He doesn't need to see it great. He finds a way to get a piece of it every time. So you know, he's one of the best goal scorers that have played, and that's why he continues to score at that rate. Now we got to do everything we can do on our PK to not let them get set up, and once they get set up, try to execute to our plan the best we can.
How different of a team are they without Oshie and Kuznetsov?
Well, those are 2 elite players. You take 2 elite players out of any lineup, and it's they're going to fill the hole at some point. Now, I think in the short term they've done a real good job. But what you become a lot of times when you lose some of those elite guys is you take on them probably a mantra of being a little more of a hard-working team, and certainly the guys that they've put in their place are natural hard workers. Not to say Kuznetsov and Oshie aren't, they are, but you know, it's just a little bit different, a little more dog on a bone type mentality. So they'll have a little bit different identity on lines 2 through 4. Certainly the top line's still great. You know, but there's no doubt over the long haul it's tough not to miss those guys. Hopefully they miss them lots tonight.
For you guys, do you feel like confidence is built over this stretch you've had here, where it makes maybe, you know, going into games like this, you feel like you beat the Stanley Cup champions, those sort of things?
Yeah, I would say that our confidence is built over the last 10, 11 games without a shadow of a doubt. I think confidence is everything in this league. I don't care how good you are, what you did a year ago, anything like that. I think confidence is everything, and you know, nothing breeds confidence like winning. So when you've been able to win games, you walk into it with a greater belief that you're going to win. I would say during the game, you're able to keep that belief even stronger. That's probably the biggest thing. You get down, you're able to keep the belief. You're up, you keep the belief. So you know, our guys have a lot of pride in how we play, and we know we got to play hard. We know we got to work extremely hard, be extremely committed to win, and if we do that, we give ourselves that chance.
Blash, what's the answer for a guy like Tom Wilson? Obviously, he's got a physical presence, but he's been putting some points up too and impacts the game with his energy. What's the answer for a guy like that?
Well, I'm a big fan. I think he's a real good player. I think he's a different dynamic than a lot of guys in the league. Very few guys are as physical and tough, but yet with a good skill set. So we just got to. But that doesn't. We're not going to play any different per se against them or anything like that. We're just aware of him. Everybody, guys know who Tom is. I think everyone's got a healthy respect for him, and you go out and play. I think if he has a chance to finish a check, he's going to finish a check. Well, we should do the same thing. So we just got to make sure we're ready to do that.
How close is Erickson?
I think he's day to day, so we'll know more tomorrow.
And what about Cholowski? He didn't play a ton last game. How is he doing?
We'll go through warm-ups and set our lineup after warm-ups, but I expect him to be ready. Thanks.